How you doing, Duff here? This is a very exciting day. This is the day that the lift gets installed on my truck. I'm still prepping for the arrival of my collaborator. I believe he'll be here shortly. But yeah, I'm gonna get going. I do want to do a couple measurements before we get started so we have a frame of reference to see before and after not only how the truck looks but also how it sits. Okay, so from the factory, this is ground to fender, just about a little less than 35 inches, maybe 34 3/4. Ground to door, a little more than 42.5 inches to the door handle. And to the back fender, about 36.5 inches. And right there you can get a side profile of the truck, stock. My TRD Sport. I like to be organized normally, somewhat. Alright, I got my tools laid out. Man, this is going to be a pain to do myself, though. I wish I had someone to help me. It would just be so much better if I had someone that was knowledgeable about doing lifts on Tacomas, be around to help me, but unfortunately there's no one like that in Florida, so. Wait a second. I recognize that truck. What the hell? Wait, that's Chuck. Oh my God, I can't believe it. So here we are. If you don't recognize this guy, this is Chuck from Chuck Does Stuff.
Hi.
Chuck has been nice enough to spend some of his vacation in Florida to help me install this lift. Chuck has installed a 4-inch lift on his truck before. And this is actually going to be a much simpler install than his, so hopefully it goes well.
I'm not worried about it. We got this.
And you see Chuck's awesome truck back there? His Tacoma with the, what are your wheels? Fuel
assaults.
Fuel assault wheels. Aftermarket tires. Looks very, very sharp. So I'm going to try to document this as best I can as we go along. Okay, got the wheels off the truck, got it jacked up. We're going to lower it onto the jack stand. See your center under there? It's going to, the way I have it jacked, it's going to go this way a little bit as I come down.
Good Duff. That's what I'm working with. Just knocked the wheels off his truck. We're gonna put it down on jack stands, and then we're gonna do his lift kit. I think it's from Low Range Off-Road, right?
Low Range Off-Road. Yep.
Right. I'll put a link in the description someplace here, or clicked someplace. But yeah, we'll see how this does. I did the 4-inch rough country. Now his is a 2-wheel drive. So hopefully this will go a lot smoother than what mine did in a lot less time. So let's have at it.
Okay, first thing that I did was I removed the stabilizer bolt right here. It was a 17mm bolt. Easy enough. Alright, now we're removing shock mount. This here, this here. Impact wrench is awesome. Okay, so you remove the bolt for the shock, but you don't actually pop that bolt out yet. Chuck's working on taking off the skid plate next. And after that, we loosen the cam adjustment bolts.
After marking them.
After marking them. I do have a white marker.
That's close enough for government work. We can figure that out.
Yeah, I think so.
I got the backside with silver already. I was able to reach that. Oh, we need to get those too.
Oh, these back ones?
Yes, front and back. We gotta loosen everything up because this whole control arm has to swing down out of the way.
Oh yeah, I do remember that. See that from?
Yep.
Can you reach out?
Yep, I got it.
Okay, so we are loosening all 4 cam adjustment bolts. When in doubt, bring the impact tool.
Oh, shock. Yeah, that.
Oh yeah. Oh, you can
Get some leverage.
There you go.
Release this.
Uh-huh.
Just hit it right here and they'll pop everything right up.
Gotcha.
Oh, and then the bottoms, we have to loosen that up next too. Might as well do everything while it's...
The ball joints?
Yeah, the lower one, not the castle nutted one. Now this is going to be... Because it really doesn't, it just says loosen lower ball joint, so...
Oh, this one has a... Oh, so it's the ones on the outside, okay.
Outside ones, yeah, I didn't realize that, so I removed everything when I did it.
Oh, really?
And I'm like, why the hell do I need to remove this? I'm like, oh, they just... The instructions, it's kind of like the... kind of like that trick I told you first thing. The first step is not in the instructions.
Mm-hmm. 19.
It's what, a 20?
19.
19?
Here we go. Get my back into it. So we're just going to loosen them. You don't want me to take them off yet.
We'll probably take them off.
Well, it won't drop until you actually pop the shock off, right?
Correct. But we're going to have to take it out anyway. So. And you're going to have to tap that out anyway, so.
The shock bolt.
Yeah, this lower whole thing would probably just
Okay.
going to have to pop out anyways.
Removing the ball joint bolts.
Give you a breaker bar.
Yeah. Did I leave it over there with you? No, here it is. Okay, I got my 2 ball joint bolts out. Okay, now I'm working on these top bolts up here. You're supposed to only loosen one of them and remove the other 2, and that's to prevent the whole assembly from dropping down.
Now, do you have a... yeah,
I got my mini
because
switch.
when you tap it doesn't go all the way through. So the point of a screwdriver, not the rest of the way.
Mine went all the way.
Oh, you're special.
Yeah, I guess. Oh, there it goes. There it goes. All right. All right. You just drop the ball joint.
There we go. And it's a boy.
You got it out?
Yep.
What'd you do? Drop it part all the way down and then come out the side here?
It goes straight, yeah, exactly.
Oh, come all the way out. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Assembly's out. Now we can move to the table. So right here is the spacer. It basically goes on top with the sticker facing outwards, it says, with the lower part of the shock oriented that way. We are inside Truck's SR5 going to get a longer 14mm socket. The one I have won't quite fit in the recessed areas of that spacer.
Instead of screwing it up, just get the right part.
Yeah, Chuck's making me get the right part. All right, Chuck is gracious enough to let me drive the lifted SR5 Tacoma. I'll let you know how it feels when I get home. All right, so we just got back. Driving Chuck's truck didn't feel crazy different than mine, other than the height. You know, it feels a little bit different on the wheels. You hear a little bit more noise, but it's a good riding truck. No problems. All right, we just torqued the bolts in the spacer after a run to AutoZone to get the correct socket, and now we're going to do the other one.
You know, it's not an install unless you go to at least one part store, at least one or two times.
I was trying to avoid that, but it's unavoidable. Chuck has this cool torque wrench. I have a shitty Duralast model, so I'm just going to tighten snug and then come back. He has a digital torque wrench.
Got it from the Snap-on dealer. It's just way too much money.
Yeah, I was curious how much something like this costs.
I think I paid like $500 for that.
Whoa! God, are you serious?
Something like that, yeah. I bought that years ago because I was I needed a really good torque wrench.
Wow.
And what was I doing? I think that's when I was doing the rear end on my Mustang that I had at the time. I just wanted to make sure I was 100% good.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew, oh, Snap-on, that's going to be 100% good, but...
$500.
Yeah. I think I've used it like a half dozen times. But you know what? I got it.
Yeah,
It's a great thing about tools. Once you buy them, you have them.
Mm-hmm. As long as you don't lose them.
Oh, I ain't losing this one.
Yeah. They're torqued. All right. We are feeding the shock assembly back up.
As you saw, we torqued everything down. Everything's good. We're going to feed everything up to here and get it Duff's doing his side. I'm going to do mine.
I'm getting the angle here. There you go.
You got it?
Yeah. You're starting all three of them?
Yeah. Sweet.
Okay, so just tighten those. We just need to hit them with a torque wrench to verify the specs. And it is important that you have the sticker facing outward. They mentioned that repeatedly. Okay, we're getting the shock bolt through on this side.
This flat washer.
Got it.
There's nothing like doing all this and you go, why do I have spare parts?
Yeah, what's up?
Yeah, going, did I screw a spring compressor right over here? And we'll align everything that way instead of using ratchet straps. This I view as a much safer way of doing this. A little bit more solid, but still all the same, make sure your hands and feet are in the ride at all times. You don't want to lose any limbs.
All right, so it says what, jacket within like a 1/4 inch or something?
Ratchet within, yeah. You want to, you still have a ways to go.
Says be careful to not strip them.
Yeah.
Now, I think you talked about Loctiting. Did you Loctite yours?
No, but you can. It's probably proprietary, so just take your time. If you have a buddy, you saw I use the actual screwdriver to align the other hole. We got it through, started, and then just tighten everything back up through there.
Yeah, what Chuck said. They were challenging to get aligned, but once they were aligned, it's not a big deal. All right, so we're basically done with this side. We're going to just repeat the process on the other side. So don't need to see us struggle twice.
What do you say, Duff? This is realistically, we took our time here per side. Probably say 20 minutes, half hour per side.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah, that's legitimate.
I mean, realistically, guys, if you know lefty loosey, righty tighty, I believe anyone can do this.
Yep, I would agree with that. As long as you have the right tools.
Yeah.
Important. All right, Chuck is underneath there with his pipe wrench, and he's backing off the bump stop. They supply a spacer for the bump stop to help give additional clearance for the additional lift that you're putting in here.
That's all you need it for,
No,
just to break it loose,
Yeah,
and the
that's
whole
easy.
thing comes right out.
Wow.
Bump stop. This is. Oh, yeah, it doesn't stop my camera from being bumped.
All right, bump stop on the passenger side is installed. Replace the battery in the GoPro, and okay, the last step of the front is we need to tighten the alignment cams. After we, man, this has turned a lot too. Tighten the alignment cams and clean some of the grease off the disc, brake disc as well. All right, so there's a 2-wrench technique needed to realign these cams. Basically, Chuck put an open-ended wrench on the other side and then was able to turn this, because you want those white marks to be somewhat or as lined as possible, and then you tighten this bolt here, snug it all back up, and then when you take it to the alignment shop, they will fine-tune it from there. Chuck's installing the belly pan. I'm cleaning out greasy finger marks off this pad. Sign up.
Barely. Kind of crazy, huh?
I've seen someone that did a lift on their truck and they kept a Sport, and they kept the wheels, and then they got bigger tires on it. My big floor jack, 5-ton floor jack, does not release slowly, as you will see in a second.
Watch this, guys. It's gonna be comical.
That wasn't too bad.
Oh, it dropped a lot harder before.
Well, when it drops onto jack stands. All right. Oh wow, that's definitely higher. Definitely.
Now it'll probably be easier if you just.
That looks really high, doesn't it? Wow.
Yeah.
Whew. And look at that front profile before we do the back. I'm surprised that it looks that high. I guess maybe when you bring it back up, it'll drop that down a little.